What is going on, everybody? Binance just approved Shiba Inu as collateral for loans. Shiba Inu responds to Elon Musk that their DMs are open. So now it begs the question, Elon, you gonna let them hit that or what? Coinbase day in court is today, and non-farm payrolls came out, 187,000, which signals soft landing actually playing out. That's what it looks like in the market. This is not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleeve. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? I hope that you are having a great morning. My name is Bleeves. This is Breakfast with Bleeves. We are here to talk about this crazy crypto market. I hope you guys are. I'm gonna make a few changes here on this stream. I want to say maybe because god damn it, man, I hate this camera. The markets are starting to reverse just a little bit. Non-farm payrolls came out. We got a fairly decent number, 187,000, and that gives us a little inkling that it should be or could be a positive day in the markets. Why? Because the non-farm payrolls have reduced. It didn't meet the projections, but it's not catastrophic. Unemployment ticked down to 3.5%. This is the textbook of the soft landing scenario that people are looking for. So this could be the start of just a fantastic day for the markets in general. I don't know if it applies to crypto, but I have a reason to think that maybe, just maybe, alts are about to, or memes at least, are about to have a decent day. And Shib is starting to pump. So we've been talking about this for a long period of time, guys. But not only is Shib pumping, Pepe is starting to have a little bit of a move as well. So let's get into what is going on, and then we'll kind of throw this up on the screen here. And good morning. Anybody get into Spirax token a couple days ago before the 36% pump? I did not. So if anybody else did, let Keg Drum know. And good morning. Stephen Blaylock says good morning. Tony P, good morning. Shout out to Richard Nelson. Let's go Shib and Bone. Bone not moving as aggressively as Shib right now, but it is moving. And collateral is a big deal, I would think. Ben Ferrer says good morning. Jay Locke, good morning. Smash that like button on the way in. Lando says good morning. True is in the house. Good morning. Diamond Nuts back from vacation. How was the moon? I hope you had a great time there and got a lot of cheese. Happy Friday from Joni Metcalf. RW7610, good morning. Jeff T is in the house. Grant Vorshuk is here. Jay Manuel's here. Saitama Nollins is in the house. Saitama, by the way, just listed Chainlink 2.0. So good times. Jared Gable says you should buy some X, please. We got another listing this morning. Also, tier 1 listing next week, potentially. I am not touching that until it hits a bottom, and that bottom should create a reversal. My man CEO came out I want to say last night and said, the reversal is in because it went to 13 and then popped back up to 15, but then it summarily rejected and went back down to 14. That's not a pump happening. So I'm going to stay on the sidelines for X. If you don't get in early, then everything else is you just become somebody else's exit liquidity. If you want to do some longing, maybe or short or leverage trading with a smaller amount just to see what happens. Maybe you can do that one on MEXC, where, by the way, link in the description below. You go test that out for sure. And by the way, Jesus Christ, you guys are making, I don't know who you guys are. Trail Boss, by the way, good morning. Matt says, buongiorno, Walmart replaced the battery. Luke Denson, what is going on? And Jared, yeah, man, that makes me nervous. Like, I already told you guys what I thought was going to happen, and I thought that it was going to dump, and it was going to continue dumping. Now, it had a reversal and a little bit of a pump for anybody who wanted to get out, and I was good with that. And I'm like, I want everybody to make money, but anybody who listened to me and got out because they were in profit, you got a little bit more pump, so it's a possibility that you could have made a few more dollars. But guess what? If you didn't get out and you fell for the hopium and you fell for the dream, then what you got right now was screwed. And that's the whole idea. And like, I'm not here and by the way, I'm not here for that hopium dream. We hope that will happen. That's what hopium is about. I'm here for that. Protect your capital and don't get wrecked off of it, right? Create yourself a position here where you can make a little bit off of it. If you get in low, if you get in early, sure, let it ride. Take your original investment out as quickly as you possibly can, and then just let the rest ride and see what happens, right? That's the standard. That's how you do it. If that works, cool. Do you want bits? Yes. All right, guys, let's get into it right now. And shout out to everybody for coming in. I know you got plenty of things that you could be doing with your day, but Binance approves Shiba Inu as collateral. What does this signal for Shib's future? Shiba Inu emerges as a viable collateral asset. Simultaneously, the recent development has ignited conjecture about the possibility of Bone being listed on Binance. This conjecture aligns with the eagerly awaited rollout of the Layer 2 blockchain Shibarium. Now, let me tell you for sure, Bone will be listed on Binance because it is the gas that runs Shibarium. Binance is a big supporter of all of this. So this will be something, even though Shibarium, by the way, is a competitor to Binance and BNB, the BSC smart chain. But they will support it because they're all about that money to begin with. Also, Shiba Inu responds to Elon's appreciation tweet saying its DMs are open. So is Elon going to let them hit that? I don't know. It might be. So days after inviting Elon Musk to the upcoming blockchain futuristic conference, Shiba Inu tells the American billionaire its DMs are open. So the prominent American businessman noted that he gets more laughs on Twitter than anything else combined. He further expressed gratitude to Twitter users for posting great content. Interestingly, Shiba Inu took advantage of the opportunity to inform Musk that its DMs are open. That's not really news, but why not? Why not see something happen? Coinbase moves to dismiss the SEC lawsuit. If you listened to me last night, you know this is coming. But today, Coinbase is going to walk into court and ask for a dismissal of all charges from the SEC. The SEC. The SEC sued Coinbase, blah, blah, blah. Coinbase pushed back in its filing, saying the SEC is not claiming that their investment contracts involved in any of these examples. The transactions over Coinbase platform and Prime are not and do not involve contractual undertakings to deliver future value reflecting the income, profits, or assets of a business. They are commodity sales with the obligation on both sides discharged entirely the moment the digital token is delivered in exchange for payment. Now, I do think that this is not going to end the way Coinbase is hoping. And they do say, we expect to win, but it's important to understand that our goal across not just the litigation, but all of our efforts engages with the SEC and the U.S. government as a whole to achieve regulatory clarity. Now, I don't think this plays out the way that they think. We're going to see the filing. I assume it's going to be rejected because the government will have until October 3rd to file a response. But I think that they're going to do it a lot quicker than that. So I think the SEC is basically going to say, look, we consider these to be because you are custodians for what we consider to be securities, and that is a staking purpose and a staking protocol. So it did, by the way, Coinbase attached 10 different exhibits to its motion, including transcripts from a hearing in the SEC's case against Library. and orders from previous cases involving how he tests questions. So the Coinbase feels like they're good in what they're saying, but I don't think that the underlying sentiment here is what they think it is. I think it's all about staking, and I don't think they're addressing the staking portion head on and how the contract created for staking constitutes a security, because people do have an expectation of profit in that they are also, by the way, doing USDC and Tether, and like you can stake those for interest. Like I think I get an offer, by the way, if I let Coinbase hold my USDC, 4.04% is the interest, the APY, I should say, is the APY on letting them hold your USDC. So if you're telling me that a USDC, and I give you $1 million in USDC to Coinbase to hold it, yeah, and you're like, hey man, let me just hold that, and you're going to give me back 1,040,400. If I give it to you, that's an expectation of profit. I have an like that turns it into a how we test issue, because that underlying contract creates a security. And I don't know how specific, how much more specific it has to be here, but I think that that's what's going to end up happening. And we'll see how it plays out. But like, I'm not bullish on that. Now, onto the non-farm payrolls. If you were to write the script of what a soft landing looks like, this is it. Payrolls grew a strong 187K, signaling a slower yet still strong and more sustainable pace. Downward revisions of minus 49K for the prior 2 months means job growth averaged 217 over the past month. The unemployment rate fell back a tick to 3.5 and remains near the lowest rates recorded in half a century. We haven't had unemployment this persistently low for this long in decades. Layoffs are incredibly low, and workers report feeling confident they can find work. So the U.S. economy is kind of doing okay, despite everybody who wears red hats and says shit like MAGA. It's not really what they're trying to make it, and it's not great. We're going to borrow another $1 trillion in debt, turning a $32 trillion debt into a $33 trillion debt. So I shouldn't, when I say that, I should also point that out. But Joe Biden's not the one that blew the hole in the debt. It was Donald Trump that blew the hole in the debt. But nobody who wears that red hat and says shit like MAGA happens to say that. You know, we're not being genuine. We're just being partisan about all of this stuff. So you got to feel good about what is going on here. And in fairness, if I come over here and I look at the Dow Jones, ain't no Trump supporter ever seen a market like we have right now. This market is soaring to levels that Donald Trump never saw, right? That's got to matter, right? And no dump has ever happened under a president like that catastrophic dump that we ended up having. So, you know, you have to at least be intellectually honest about all of it. Is the economy great? Nah. Is the economy as horrible as people say? Nah. Why are you rooting against America? Doesn't that make you un-American? Like, that's my opinion. So you can have your opinion, by the way. Whatever. But the market is now on the move, in the positive, but we're not seeing that on the weekly. We are seeing it on the daily, a green of the first green candle forming in a couple of days. We did have this one move over here, and there it is, guys. And we're having a good day. Now, Pepe, 1214, we've got a little green candle forming here. Let's go to the 1 hour so you can see what's happening right here. Last night I said that I think that we're in this wicking area right here and that we're going to have a breakout, move up here to 12.8, something like that. Well, guess what? We just tested the 50 SMA. If we don't get rejected by the 50 SMA, which it looks like we're moving up above it, but there you go. Here you go. You say economy good, numbers, but they lie to it. Right. So did Donald Trump. That's the point. They all lie about it. we're just pretending and taking sides. It's still all pretend. They're all lying to you. They're all saying, no, I didn't pay Stormy Daniels. You know what I mean? They're all saying that to you. It's just whether you're going to accept their lie and believe it or not. That's all. Ben is moving to 44.90. Now, before we move on, we do have some stuff going on over here. Before I get into Volt, Revolut. And if you don't know who Revolut are, then you're just like everybody else in America. But Revolut is going to terminate U.S. crypto services, citing regulatory environment. Revolut is closing its cryptocurrency platform in the U.S. We've never heard of Revolut, so just so you know, there it is. But ta-da! Now, Volt is had a big move like this, right? Well, so then I had a guy. I mean, I want to call him Donkey Brain, but I can't because I don't know or care what is going on. But here is what he is crying about, and he's doing this thing, and it's like wah, at me, and like I don't give a shit. But here is what he's doing. He says that Ozzy. Now, as you know, Ozzy was like one of the top couple of holders, holding over 1 trillion tokens at one point. He was in this top 5 or top 6 at one point. Well, now he only has 342 billion tokens. So where did the 700 billion tokens go? So you can come over here and you can look at it and you can see that he's transferred them out every single time. And then the question is, where did he transfer them out to? He interacted with from to this contract right here. This contract, by the way, KuCoin. So he is transferring. He is transferring it all to KuCoin for some purpose. And is the purpose to sell? Well, I don't know, because it's on a centralized exchange. So we can create our conspiracies all we want about what Ozzy is doing on all of this and why he's moving everything over here. But here is what I am to understand. There are people, unsavory types, that are in cryptocurrency that are trying to do this shit and dunk on the chart constantly. And Ozzy feels like he can do something about that and make sure that the people who think that they're making money off of this will start losing money on it, because he is a big stakeholder. And he thinks that if he pulls, I guess, whatever he's pulling right now is to the benefit of the community in its entirety, because what he thinks is what he's doing is going to protect the price long term. At least that's what I read all about it when I used my reading brain. And then I told the guy, hey, why don't you just go into their chat? Because the chat is for adults, only babies get banned out of there. So you should be able to just go into the chat and ask them, hey, what's going on with Ozzy's wallet? And if he wants to tell you, then he will tell you. But Ozzy is a grown man. He's allowed to trade. If he wants to sell at any point, he can actually just sell at any point. And there's nothing you can do about it except cry and bitch and moan and be, what everybody points and laughs at as an unsavvy investor, right? Well, then the person said, well, no, I can't because I'm banned from the chat. And there it is. Look, if you act like a little bitch, don't expect for somebody to say, hey, you look like a dude in a dress, right? You act like one, you get treated like one. I mean, that's all I can say. And if you're worried about where everybody is buying and selling or something like that, and you don't trust a product, then get out of the product and get into a product that you do trust, because all you are is a whining crybaby bitch. Like, God, Dougie, it's horrible. Grow up, pretend you have nuts, and go do something else. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's not complicated. It's not as complicated as you make it. And I can't put it any better than that. So what we're seeing on Volt is we're seeing this dunk. We're seeing this little reversal here. I don't know if it's going to be sustained. This pump over here. So here's what happens, right? So they're pumping the price of Volt on different exchanges. And it's not, by the way, it's, let me get over here and you can see it. And they're using arbitrage is what's happening. So you've got somebody buying and selling Volt on specific exchanges, right? So on these markets, you can see right here, if we do the price action right now, so if you're trading on any one of these, then you've got price action in the positive. See the price over here on some of these is a lot higher. So I guess we'll start with the volume here. On Poloniex 24, Hobit 24, Gate.io 24, going down the list, KuCoin 24 right now, but Bit right now 31. So you might be seeing some people from Bit moving over to do arbitrage to try to regulate the price and to keep the price. It's just what people do, right? So what's happening is Gate.io price has been spiking. And what people are doing is they're buying on Gate.io for 24, and then over here on Volt, it's coming up to 29. So that's 500 points of differential. That's about 20 points with no tax. So they're just moving over here and selling, right? And it used to be that you prevented that. And look, I'm not gonna say I told you so. I'm not gonna say I told you so. But it used to be that you couldn't do that because there was a 13% buy and sell tax. You couldn't do that. Now you can do that. You get what you vote for. That's it. You get what you vote for. So now I think Ozzy has an idea that he can help regulate some of these prices and make sure that starts to happen with less impact. And they're saying something about raccoons, which apparently is DJ Legends, and the people that follow DJ Legends that all kind of left Volt or still have little bags in Volt and they use it to try to sell and dunk on the chart. So I guess they're doing something with that, and that of course is affecting the price because all that stuff is kind of happening there, right? And here's the thing: at the end of this entire big explanation that I just gave you, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. It's just invest in it or don't invest in it. Shut the fuck up about it. Look, make like a tree, make like a planter's tree and grow some nuts. Jesus Christ, you crybabies. You know what I mean? So anyway, so Volt is doing that kind of shit right now. Ben was pumping pretty hard through a live last night. If you guys didn't come on to it, I was on the Ben Spaces and they let me speak and they let me talk about it. And instead of, because they had an idea that Ben is going to spin off a rewards token, and you can't buy the rewards token. It's just a rewards token that helps you in Ben. There's a process that they're going to go through. Speculative, if anybody's trying to speculate right now, there is no speculation on it. But then I said, why would we call it a rewards token? Why wouldn't we just call it the benefits rewards, or the benefits token? Because Ben, right? So I think that's the name that they're going to go with, the benefits. In fact, there was something to that. Yeah, I think it's going to be called benefits, with BEN being capitalized. Duh. So, and within 6 to 8 weeks, maybe sooner, the V2 will be out. So there's going to be some FOMO that builds up in the meantime because we're 9 days away from Dubai. The Dubai thing, for those of you that don't know, and I can't say too much because it's speculative in many ways on me, and I don't like to do that crazy kind of hype thing, right? But it is my understanding that there are some big investors who are going to invest in Ben at that point because they agree with BitBoy about what needs to happen, and they want to fund him and help him. And of course, they want to make money in the process, and throwing $1 million or $2 million at a project is nothing to them because they have millions upon millions upon millions. So this is an idea that they want to go with, and cool, so I get a feeling that we're about to get, and I'm not going to speculate up here, but I did put a yellow, I put an orange line up here where I think the price is about to go. And that's a guess. That is a wild ass guess if people do what it looks like might happen. So I don't know if they will or not. So I'm not telling you guys that I'm confident that we're going to pump up here to 11,500. I'm not telling you I'm confident in that. I'm telling you that there is something happening concerning some very big wallets that are about to ape into Ben, I think. And I think that that's how this plays out. And then as we get closer to Dubai or right after Dubai, we're going to see a massive spike, not only in the liquidity, but in the total value of the tokens. And that we're going to just see an enormous run start with a couple of different people after BitBoy gets on that yacht in Dubai. So I think that that's going to happen. I'm not sure. I wouldn't speculate on that if I were you. But I get the sense that something underlying is happening. Now, Bitcoin kind of sideways, even though the market has been, kind of adding a little bit of money into it for a few hours now. We got the non-farm payrolls. It looked good. Generally speaking, though, on this hour, we really didn't move anywhere. So it feels like something is on the verge of happening. Now, this area right here, 29.15, has been resistance or support for a couple of times. It can't just stay here. It's gonna have to move one way or another. It looks like we're getting ready to maybe use this 50 SMA as support. If we use it as support, then that gives us the 200 right here, which is crossing over perfectly at 29,275. If that happens and we can bust through here, get up back into this area to 29,400, start to make a retest, it's possible that we can get one more final run. Again, I think that at maximum, it's going to wick out here under 30,000. I don't think that we go over 30,000 if we get a retest of some highs. But I do think, and I think that, people might be like, let's get it to 30,000. You know what I mean? Some random chat out there might do something like that. I don't think that they will, but you never really know what happens. But it looks like maybe a little bit of reversal, some positive news coming out. So perhaps we did see something positive. So we'll see. Ethereum 1838 doing the same thing that Bitcoin's doing, a little bit more aggressively. And the reason it's more aggressive is because of this. Shib is, and I told you guys this was getting ready to happen. I told you, we've been talking about it for a long time, that move was getting ready to happen. Well, that move is starting to happen again, and we're about to test that new high again at 87.80, getting our way up into that next level. There's the first candle. Now we're going to need a few more of those candles taking our way up there. So if that does play out, nice. We did have a wick down here. Let's go look at the hour. It did wick down to about $1.60. It wicked down to $1.60. Now it's back up, went up to $1.70. 210, I think, is programmed in at this point. By the way, one day I will tell you why I came up with the number 210. If you guys ask nicely on the live stream and super chat enough. Rob T, thank you for the $5. Volt, load up if you believe. And I do believe, like, that's the whole thing. The thing is, like, if somebody's out here trying to protect Volt and the price goes down because of it, who gives it? Like, it doesn't matter to me, because I'm going to be here. Look, I may not be there. I'll be honest with you. I may not be there at the end, because if the money becomes too much and it can change my life, then I'm going to take out enough to change my life. So I might be a smaller holder at that point. But you know what I mean? Like, here's what happens. If Volt were to, let's just say today, if Volt were to come back up here to, let's go with a number up here. If it would come back up to where it was, this, by the way, is the original. This is not the, but if it came, this is where it launched for like V2 right around in here. If it came back up to this level, that would be a 5x from where it is right now. That's not enough for me to sell. Like, I don't really feel confident selling at that. If it came back up to where that all-time high was, then my bag is like 40 or 50 grand. That's still not enough. Now, what I would do, by the way, is in the event that we came up or even approached that level again and started to create that big wick at the top, then I would be tempted to sell a little bit, because I know this is coming, and then accumulate even more for another run, so that I have like twice as much or 3 times as much going back forward. I would certainly do that. But, as far as long-term, like, I'm never going to be out of Volt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to be volted. And if you guys don't like it, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, so we've got Pepe was on the move. I don't know if it's going to continue being on the move. We've got Shib that's continuing to move. I don't know if it's going to continue being on the move. Aave is pumping again. What was the other one that Litecoin is recovering a little bit, but we already got wrecked on that one. Maker is up 1.5% so far on the day. Matic starting to have a little bit of a reversal. Solana, there it is. Solana is up 2.5%. Why? Because I told you so. Like I told you guys that this goddamn thing is just going to start pumping all of the time. Let's go see what ended up happening over here. I don't know where I did Pepe, but let's see that. All right, so the Shib long, we're now up 121% on the Shib long. So cool story, bro. And then let's go check over here on futures. This is where we went in on Pepe. So let's see how Pepe's doing. We're up $125 on that Shib long right now. And we're up $17 on the Pepe long. I still think there's a long way to go for Pepe. I set the take profit over here at 1280, which is 181 profit. So we might see something good come out of that, but we're still down on the Ethereum. So let's check out copies. Bitcoin, we're up $1 on one. XRP on that 20X that we took that short, we're up $30 on. Do we think the price is going up or do we think the price is going down? Let me know what you think right now in chat so that we can make a decision on this XRP short, because we're up $27 on that one. Like it'd be kind of good to make a buck off of it, right? You know what? Let's quick close it. All right, so we closed that on the XRP. Now we have $361. We're going to put $361 into something right now. Which do we want to put it on right now? We've got a long going on Doge that we're down on. The market, let's get up here. Why don't we go into Solana? And why don't we go all in on Solana and buy that long right there? And let's say, there we go. So we took that Solana long. We took that one at what price was our entry here? It was at 23.24, and it's pumping right now. So let's go ahead and set that at $24. So if we had $24, it's $100, and we're up, and it'll just automatically liquidate that one right there. So, yeah. So there we are. All right. So that's where all of that is, and now liquidation. Kind of in the middle. And by the way, I think we should talk about that. If you guys are looking to make any sort of plays and you're trying to use leverage, then I want to point out that there is kind of an idea here. So let's just say that you decide that you want to go in on Shib, right? And that you want to that you think that Shib is gonna run, right? One of the things that you can do, and you got to decide on what your risk tolerance is and what you think is going to happen, right? But what you're looking at is, let's just say where I am right now. Where I am right now is in between two of these major areas, right? This area is going to turn red or it's going to turn green, right? This is the area of contention, a zone of control, if you will. This zone has become a support level. So we're down in the middle of this area. Now, that's not the spot to enter a trade, right? If you're going to set a long, then the idea here would be setting the long around 845, which is the bottom of this range right here. And you don't want to go heavy. Like, this is not where, and by the way, it depends on how much capital you have, right? But you can see that this was a very contested area right here. Like, this was a very contested area with wicking coming down a little bit lower into this green area. Now, money flow still says it's coming out. With that being the case, you have a choice between this 845 or this down here 835, right? So you could set yourself a long to buy in at 835 and use like 20x leverage with just $50, right? Just $50. 20x leverage means you put $1,000 into Volt, thinking that it might pump, and if it goes up, it might be worth $100 to you, right? It's not a lot, by the way. You have to build yourself into a good position, and you can use very little money in order to do it. Now, if you consequently think that the price for sure is going to come down when it hits up here, as it did here, So what you can do then is you can set a short position at the top of this area. This zone of control right here is 924 or 925, as you can see up here on the right of the screen. So at 925, set a short to auto buy at that level, right? Or thereabouts, depending on your risk tolerance. Again, and don't go too heavy in the leverage, right? But consider that it probably, once it hits there, will come down here for a retest at 845 before going back up higher. So those are the kind of things. And what you can do is you can set yourself different levels. You can set yourself a buy order here at 845 for $50. You can set yourself a buy order here at 835. If both of them end up winning and you end up in a good position on both of them, then you got $100 going forward. If one of them liquidates, then you've got the other one that if the reversal happens, that you might, I mean, basically what you're doing is you're just continuing to run longs on the way down when you're finding those areas to try to create that reversal, right? So, and if you're shorting, same thing. Like if you short right here at 925 and you put in like $50 to short at 925, well, what happens if it really gets on a magical candlestick run, right? It doesn't always do that. You could get wrecked, right? But then you could set another buy order here at 965, because if it wicks up and it goes crazy, then that could be the spot where it comes down. Now, it definitely comes down at 1,000, because it always comes down at 1,000. It might wick up a little bit because this area at 1020 is an area of contention. So, you might set a buy order here to short right there. But you might also consider just doing it at 1020 as well. You're going to miss it. Just make sure that your risk tolerance allows for this thing to wick up a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? Like, just make sure and set a stop loss so that you don't lose too much money. But set your stop loss a little bit higher than 1020 up here at maybe like this kind of area up here a little bit at 1040, something like that. If you've got that, if you've got that level, and then wait for it to come down. Like, it's crypto, right? All you got to do is set yourself a position, make sure that you're in the right position at the right time, and then LFG, baby, let's go. Also, we just got a reversal on Pepe again, and Pepe just started pumping, I just saw. So in looking at these longs over here, Pepe is now up $21, and the Shib is up 127. So we are getting capital entering the market. You can't see that on the daily, but on the 1 hour, look at this. We're starting to get a bounce off of 1126. We just hit the 50 SMA, and we're at 29,254 over here. We just added $5 into Ethereum. It looks like we're on a pump. Marco D, any 100x gems, for news on 100x gems, there is a one single problem with the smart contract that's being worked on. And we'll have an update for you very, very shortly. Not going to take that much time, but I did there is an update pinned up here. I did make a video about it, and it says, that's not the one. It's right here. Here's a quick smart contract builder update. Long story short, we expect a couple days delay for launch to tackle this last bug. Basically, we have many ways for tokens to be customized on our new platform. The issue is if certain options are selected in combination with other options, it's preventing the smart contract from being built. Naturally, we want all options to function, so all smart contracts can be built. We do not expect this delay to go beyond a 3 or 4 day window. This was on August 2nd, by the way. So probably Saturday or Sunday, we're going to see it, and then probably Monday launch. I'm going to do a weekend update for them, by the way, tomorrow. So we'll have some update on it at that point, and we'll have a little bit more clarity. We asked the Gems family to give us a short window of time to properly build marketing momentum for launch, get YouTube reviews up, and get this utility in the hands of as many crypto creators as we can to drive revenue. So we're going to be doing it. I got a message from the developers that we're going to be doing this very shortly. So to be ready, and I'm ready to go as soon as we are. So yeah, the update is good. It's just taking, sometimes these things take a little bit longer than what you speculate or what you hope they do. But Pepe continuing to run. Oh, yes. Yeah, see, these are the guys. Hey man, just a quick question. I don't know why you're on my thread posting that. Why don't you just go into Telegram and post that in Telegram and let them do that? Why don't you just tell them in Telegram, and then everybody could just uninvest, and then boom, you've won. Crypto, how come you're not posting it in Telegram? I don't think he's going to reply. I think that he just came here. I mean, he may just came here to cry, I guess. I mean, I want to say I don't know what the purpose is. So, I mean, y'all know what my purpose is. Y'all know why I'm asking, because I know what the answer is on this one. So, 122 up on Shib, 33 up on Pepe. So we're having a pretty decent day right now. I'm going to leave these longs open, by the way. If something changes in the market, then maybe I'll pull. I may, by the way, just take a loss here on this one, because this is at 1887. And I don't think that it's going. I don't think it's happened. By the way, for those of you that don't know, the answer for Crypto is he can't post it in Telegram. He can't ask that question in Telegram because he's been banned, because he just complains and whines. So I mean, it's a tale as old as time. It's what happens when you let 14-year-olds bang, right, Romeo? Right, Juliet? You know what I'm talking about? When you let children do stuff, they do childish stuff. So there we are. All right, guys. The new laptop, by the way, if you didn't see my new laptop, you are missing out. You're missing out on the most kick-ass laptop in the history of laptops. I'm just kidding. It's actually just normal. But it is a Turbo token. Oh, get out of here. Don't tell me Turbo is pumping again. Hold on. All right, guys. 1 second here. Turbo is up 33%. Holy shit. Now, guys, if you don't know what Turbo is, Turbo was an AI created token that was created during the craze on May the 1st of 2023. Turbo was 100% AI created. AI created the smart contract. AI created the Turbo mascot. AI did everything. So here's the thing. Sergeant, I can answer this question for you by saying this. The question here is, why ban someone that is whining? Why not just make them look dumb? And the answer to that, it's unfortunate, but the answer to that is because they're so dumb they don't know that they look dumb, right? And the reason that they don't know that they look dumb is because they say shit like this. They get all the information, it's all in front of them. They have all of the pieces, all are in place. All of the pieces tell you a specific thing, and then those guys are so dumb they don't understand. And when you say all of the stuff to them, they say, no, the election was stolen. There's no way that 8 billion more people voted for that guy. It doesn't matter how dumb they look. They're into their dumbness, right? That's the way that this works. That's the way that the mentality is, because we're in an age of tribalism. So you have a tribe that likes Volt, and you have a tribe that doesn't like Volt, right? And I know that I made that about that last election. That last election was stupid, but the point remains: you can't teach you can't teach somebody who's in a tribe that another tribe did something. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you guys are fans of sports and athletics, but I am a Louisville Cardinal fan. I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, and my rival was the Kentucky Wildcats. So every time Louisville and Kentucky would play a basketball game, they didn't play football games, by the way, back in the old days. They but they played basketball every year, and Louisville would come out, and Louisville would win, and Kentucky fans would find one call from a referee and say, well, if that one call didn't go that way, you guys cheated to win. You guys paid off the referees or something like that. And when Kentucky would win, which, by the way, Kentucky wins a lot more than Louisville, but when Kentucky wins, then Louisville loses, and the people in Louisville were like, yeah, it's because the referee cheated, because the referee wanted them to win because they were in Rupp Arena, or they were in, or something, all of them do this kind of stuff, right? It's just nonsense, and it's tribalism. And what we're experiencing right now is tribalism. And why do we experience tribalism in crypto? Because we're in a bear market, and in the bear market, people who basically are not savvy investors. And by the way, I don't mean that to be disrespectful. You're the one that has to look in the mirror and see your unsavvy ass getting dunked on, right? But some of us bought at a bad spot, and you can't fix it. Now, I was fortunate enough to buy at a very low price. My buy-in on Volt, by the way, and remember, I was at $30,000 or $40,000 at one point. I'm not rich, but I was up pretty good at one point. But like today, I think my bag is worth about $3,000, and I bought at $150. So I'm still up 20x, even in the worst of times. So, and by the way, market is starting to send, check this out. We're getting a move on Ethereum. Ethereum is up to 1846 now, continuing to move. Bitcoin at 29,300, probably get rejected right here at about 29.4 if we continue on this move. Pepe, on the other hand, Pepe is having a move here, just got rejected off 1220. It might be continuing on. Shib got rejected at that high up there, at 870, where it was over here. So it looks like it's still moving. We still got capital coming into the market. Yeah, Shib is just about to break out. Bone, it looks like, is up 1.5%. Everything seems to be moving a little bit positive, and the Dow Jones is up 190 points to start the day. There is a CME gap, as you guys can see, between where it closed and where it opened. Will it be filled? I don't know. Probably. But as we see right here, we're starting to get a little bit of reversal in the market. Solana is at 23.48. What do we do on Solana, by the way? What was that shit that we did on Solana here? Let's go check that one out. Oh, look at that. Where's Solana? All right, so all of our Solana is up right now. So I put take profit at 24 to make it a small take at that point. And then I set another one up here at 29, which is about a $687 profit. So we do have some we do have some good stuff going on here. We still have this one right here where we shorted Bitcoin, and you know what I mean? We might get liquidated on that one, but we got until 30,000 to get liquidated. So even if it goes up to exactly 30,000, we're still good. So I don't want it to go that far, but I mean, let's face it. I'm down here on this Ethereum anyway at this 20x. It's been hovering around my liquidation for so long that I'm almost numb to it at this point. Hopefully we get that reversal and we get up here to 1880. And then at 1885, I said to take profit, even though the profit on it is $100, it's still better than nothing. So I'm hoping that we continue to see that big ass reversal. So And there you go. My 1800 is worth 350 now. And that's it. If it goes up, it goes up. And here's the thing, to make a decision. Look, you made a decision in a bear market to invest. Maybe you invested 1800. I don't know what your financial status is, so I can't, comment on that. But you decided to invest $1,800 into it. And don't second guess yourself now because you're in a bear market. Do you know why? Because you're in a bear market. It's ludicrous to think otherwise. And the other thing is, Dondo, I can't stress this enough. In the future, maybe look at when you're looking at 1800, maybe look at put 500 in, and then see which direction it goes. And remember, we're not all going to make $100 million on it. I don't think that I think we should at least start to look at it in the context of what's really realistic instead of the pie in the sky stuff. And we do too much of that. So you put 500 in. If it goes down, then put 500 more in and see what happens from there. Because then your price, whatever you bought at, it's not the same. Now, instead of we could still be having this conversation, by the way, but we could be saying that instead of 500, you DCA'd down about 5 hours later when it dumped, and you got 500 more, right? And then it dumped a little bit more, and you got 500 more. So then you say that my $1,800 in Volt is worth $1,000 right now, and that doesn't make it better, but it makes it a little bit better. So, you know what I mean? There we are. Trevor is in the house, says, good morning. I've been loving it. Do I look at Crow? I'm actually sponsored, or I was sponsored by Crow for a while, and I used to make Crow content, but I haven't heard from them in a long time. So until it starts to break, all I can say, Trevor, is this. Crow is doing everything right. It's just not resonating with the market right now. It just doesn't resonate in the markets at this moment, but it will, because there's all of these things that are happening, right? And remember, crypto has a bad name for a lot of people, especially in the United States, with and every time you see crypto.com arena, it doesn't move the needle. But guess what? Crypto.com is where people are going to go to find information out about cryptocurrency. And as long as crypto.com is making money and hanging in, then their all-time high, which was, I think, 98 cents. Yeah, 98.89. That all-time high is not that far away. You know what I mean? I have a bag of Crow sitting in a side wallet, and I assure you that it's going to make that all-time high and then more. So I'm not worried about it at all. There's nothing really to talk about. And like Luke says here, Crow's going to go to $1 in the next bull market. Well, it was already at $1. It'll probably, if we're being honest, it probably goes to $1.60, or $1.50, $1.60 at least. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that you are. I wasn't. I wasn't saying that you were crying about it. By the way, that wasn't me. I was just saying that next time you should maybe DCA instead of aping in a little bit more, because it's probably. You miss some of you might miss some of the pump, but you also might miss some of the dump, and that's probably better overall for all investments. And for whoever said Volt doesn't seem like a degen play, well, you didn't invest a year ago. It seemed like a degen play then, because anything could happen, or 2 years ago, because anything could happen. You have to be there at the beginning. You don't know what Voltoshi is going to do. You don't know what's going to happen. So a lot of people invested in it as a degen play, and it became something more. That's all, right? That's all. So, and Scottish Crypto. If you haven't, go look at my Twitter, and you can see that dude crying about Ozzy's wallet, how it used to have 1 trillion tokens and now only has 342 billion because he's moving everything to KuCoin. That's what's going on right now, and that's what's got a lot of people crying about it, because of whatever these guys are doing. So, and Trevor, you're absolutely welcome. I'm bullish on Crow. I'm bullish on everything kind of long term at this point. Everything's going to have a moment. Everything is going to have a moment. And there it is right there. Volt is an altcoin now, no longer a meme coin, and altcoins are not running. They're not. It's not happening. And by the way, I don't even know that I would consider it an altcoin at this point. I would say it's probably more metaverse, but it's kind of got this entire ecosystem. So Volt is going to have a weird sort of level of pump, and as the market kind of saturates and people get interested in crypto a little bit more again, then I think you're going to see a lot of weird and crazy things happening. I think Voltoshi is planning and waiting. I could be wrong, but that's what he is. And it's painful, by the way. It's painful for everybody because they have to sit there and they have to witness it and they have to watch it, because not everybody has as much faith as other people have. But at the end of the day, I trust in what Voltoshi is doing. He has not let me down at any point. By the way, I still don't have the trailer for my movie. I don't know when that movie I don't know when that movie is going to be released, by the way. I've never been in a movie before, so I'm just waiting for the trailer. As soon as I get the trailer, as soon as we get everything, then I will let you guys know. Those are mostly... Oh, well, there you go, man. Then you did it as right as you could do, and the market is just suffocating. And by the way, Dondo, my $40,000 in Volt is now $3,000. So, but I only bought him with 150 at the very beginning. So, you know what I mean? Like I'm good with that. And as far as it goes, that's right there. That's what matters to me, right? Having a staking platform for Volt to me seems like that's where I'm gonna start feeling good. I don't plan on doing anything. Again, like I did say before, like if I did anything, it would be to try to take a shot and maybe sell half a bag. Hope for a dump or something like that, and then buy more. You know what I mean? So that I have 50 billion instead of 10 billion. You know what I mean? But who knows? And Voltoshi, if you're watching, send me 10 billion. How about that? Anyway, this is not financial advice. My name is Blaze Mars. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll be doing some content this weekend. I know I said I was going to do content last weekend, and I didn't do any content last weekend, but that was because I lost power, and that was kind of a nightmare scenario. So I should be doing a bunch of content this weekend, and the new laptop is ordered, so I will have that in a couple of days. I really like this fisheye camera, though. It's ridiculous, and at the same time, I don't know how to control it. Anyway, we'll talk to you again soon.
Whoa, another shot of the bullet. Loaded, got complex, cocking and pulling.